Good evening and welcome back to NoQuipFootball here on NoQuip Sports, your no funny business source of just football news. You get in, you get out in 5 to 7 minutes or less, and hopefully you pick up some fantasy pick'ems along the way. So folks, just so you know, for this season, NoQuipFootball has been doing very well, picking up 78.8% of all picks, and in the postseason so far, 6 for 9. So hopefully we'll make that 7 out of 10 with the Super Bowl. But that pick will not be made until Saturday. So folks, today in this video, part 3, we're going to be talking about the AFC offense versus the NFC offense, specifically, of course, the Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots. All right, so let's get right to the Falcons. Today we have, for the starting lineup that we suspect will be happening, we have Matt Ryan, of course, at quarterback. On the offensive line, we have Jake Matthew, Andy Levitri, Alex Mack, Chris Chester, and Ryan Schrader. Now, folks, this offensive line has been very good all season long. Obviously, Matt Ryan has been very good as well, but the reason to specifically talk about them is because they've been carrying the team, and as far as I understand, they've also been very healthy all season long as well. Now, one other interesting fact for you, Alex Mack, their center, is actually originally from the Cleveland Browns. I believe he was brought here in a trade, I want to say, maybe picked up off of free agency, one or the other. But point of the story being is that the Cleveland Browns actually raise up a lot of good offensive linemen. So keep that out on your mind if you're looking to trade with the Cleveland Browns. They actually do have some very good things over there that you could get. In addition to them, you have the running backs Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman, who have been a great 1-2 punch all season long. Put together, I would say they make one David Johnson or Ezekiel Elliott, depending on your picks. And then in addition to that, they've just been really great. I mean, because of that, their running back position has been charged up and ready to go for every single play. All they need to do is put one of them in there, plug and play, and it's good to go. That position has been very well taken care of, especially with that offensive line in front of them. In addition, of course, you have all those wonderful wide receivers and also those tight ends as well. Now, granted, in my opinion, the amount of options they have over there are less to the Patriots, from what I know. However, you have the Julio Jones, of course, Mohamed Sanu, Taylor Gabriel, in addition to Jacob Tammany and Levine Tololoyo, I believe is how he pronounces his name. But anyhow, so these guys have all been really great all season long. Obviously, Julio Jones has been playing out of his mind. People have been trying to figure out how to cover him all season. Mohamed Sanu has also been having a fantastic time, as well as, of course, Taylor Gabriel. So all three of them have really been having a fantastic day. So the question is, which part of that wide receiver core does the New England Patriots try to take away? So having said that, all very heavy, very good big-time weapons, so it'll be very interesting to see what happens there. Personally, I expect that Julio will probably still have 4 big catches for a fair amount of gain, but I would say anything under 80 yards is a win. So we'll go with that. In addition, now let's go over right onto the New England Patriots. You have, of course, Tom Brady, who is going to attempt to solidify being the greatest of all time by being a 5-time Super Bowl winner. And hopefully he is able to make that happen. Personally, I'd love to see that. I'd also be interested in seeing the Atlanta Falcons get their first Super Bowl ever, too. So that'd be cool. Anyhow, offensive line. You have Nate Solder, Joe Thuney, David Andrews, Shaq Mason, Marcus Cannon, who are the expected starters. Now, this offensive line is good this year. However, it's essentially the same as last year. Now, why is that important? For those of you who are not Patriots fans out there, or for those of you who love hating on us, yes, I am a Patriots fan, you'll be very, very happy to remember how terrible it was last year and how much of a sieve it was to get through there. However, we brought back old Dante Scarnecchia, who is an offensive line genius, apparently, because he made Marcus Cannon, the worst piece of crap offensive lineman last year, ever look like a Pro Bowler. And I think actually he might have been elected into it, but don't quote me on that. Anyhow, so Marcus Cannon has been doing great this year. Dante Scarnecchia has really turned it around. And in addition to that, because of all of that work, the running backs, LeGarrette Blount, James White, and Dion Lewis have all had a fairly good season. LeGarrette Blount particularly has been making me eat my words all season long about him being too big to be a running back and probably ineffective. And like I said, he's been making me eat my words. He's been doing a great job. He's been running over people. He's added hurdling over people to his game. game. He says he's always continuing to work and learn and grow. So he's very good. He's been doing very well this year. I will take that loss because I would rather be wrong about having a good guy, or be wrong about having a bad guy on your team, than to be wrong about having a good guy on your team. So thank you, LeGarrette Blount, for doing that and making me admit that. I appreciate you. Next, I put on James Devlin. Yes, I know I'm talking about him before talking about the wide receiving core and the tight ends for the New England Patriots. Here's why. Okay, folks, he's not a very big, important target in this offense. However, every single time he has touched the ball this season, not one team has even thought about putting a guy in coverage on him within 10 yards. Now, granted, that's because they can make 9 yards to his 1 yard that he attempts to run, but still, he gets a lot of very important big gains that a lot of people don't expect to happen. So be careful and make sure you watch out for that. He will be out there in the flats making big plays when you did not expect it at all. And no, not one Falcon, I guarantee it, will be around him when he does make a play, because not one player on any other opposing team all season long, when he makes those catches, is anywhere near. All right? Next, there's a laundry list of wide receivers here. You've got Julian Edelman, Chris Hogan, Michael Floyd, Danny Amendola, Malcolm Mitchell. Here's the deal. These top three, Julian Edelman, Chris Hogan, and Michael Floyd, and actually top four, why not, Danny Amendola. These guys have been incredible all season long. My good friend who was on the show earlier this year, Kevin, refers to Julian as the Binky because whenever Tom is in doubt, he goes right to his Binky, which is Julian Edelman, and he's been crushing it. So many receptions this year, a great amount of yards. Chris Hogan has been making gigantic plays, a huge pickup from Buffalo for the team, and another huge pickup for the team, of course, Michael Floyd from the Arizona Cardinals upon his release. And then Danny Amendola has also been having a very good year. Now, with Malcolm Mitchell and, let's see, who else am I missing here? With Malcolm Mitchell, he's been having a great year too. You haven't seen him too much because a lot of what the Patriots tend to do, at least I find, is we have a feature series or a feature half or sometimes a quarter where one player on the offense is where the ball keeps going. And we essentially, in my opinion, we try to make the defense react to like just that person and key on them, so that then come the next series, then come the next quarter or half, depending on when the adjustment is made by the other team on defense, we start going all over the place everywhere else, and that's when we open up all those cracks and all those holes in the defenses. That's been my observation for years, at least with a Bill Belichick style of offense. And by that, of course, I mean the offensive coordinator. And then, of course, to round it all out, you have Martellus Bennett, Matt Lengel, and Rob Gronkowski. Now, the reason I mentioned Rob Gronkowski last is because it's very possible that he actually won't be playing in this game at all, but there was rumors early on into his injury that he could make it back in time for the Super Bowl. So that is a possibility as far as I know. I need to make sure, of course, and look that up. However, having said that, Martellus Bennett has been lighting the world on fire this season. Whenever Rob Gronkowski has been out, even when he's been in. And then, of course, Matt Lengel has been picking up some key catches and actually one big touchdown during the season as well. So I highly, highly expect a lot of good stuff to come out of these offenses. I personally think this game is going to be a shootout. I'm not calling it today, people, but I think it could very easily be a shootout. These offenses are both extremely high-powered. You have potentially the greatest of all time, not officially yet, potentially the greatest of all time, going against the greatest of this year. So we'll see what happens. Anyways, folks, while you're all here, don't forget to subscribe to NoQuipSports here on YouTube. You can also follow us on Twitter at NoQuipSports, and on Facebook you can like the page NoQuipSports for more information. And, for all of you that have done those things already, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate it. And as always, go football.